Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Tea Time with me, Carol Diane. I'm Diane. This is still all a part of Cooking with Carol Diane. It's just a side I've set aside for my little afternoon tea. And I sure enjoy tea, and I hope you do too. So grab you a cup of whatever tea that you like, and let's sit down and talk today. Today, I'm talking about tea, actually. Yeah, it's my conversation today. What tea am I having today? I think on my very first tea time video, I brought out one. It was in a little jar, this one of Irish breakfast. It was a loose tea. And I'm going to have a loose tea again today. I'm going to talk the difference between the loose tea and bag teas. And this one is called Afternoon Delight. Okay? It has peppermint, chamomile, licorice root, and cinnamon. Well, won't that be nice? Yeah. So, a couple ways that you can do on loose tea. Now, because I want to have my teapot over here, which let's back up to the very beginning on really how to have tea in a teapot. Whatever teapot that you use. There goes the decorations for the day. Whichever ones that you use, be sure and warm up your tea kettle, teapot. It's very, very important. Otherwise, if you put scalding hot boiling water in a regular china teacup, you're liable to crack it. So take it over to the sink and pour in some pretty good hot water in it. Put the lid on it and let it sit there for a little while and just kind of heat the pot. Then when you're ready to have your tea, pour that out and then take your tea kettle and put the very hot boiling water in your tea pot. That's first and foremost. If you're using one like I have here of my Sterling set, you don't have to do that. You can go ahead and just open it up, pour the boiling water in there, and be done with it. For those that have asked, yes, this is a William Rogers Sterling Silver tea set. I'm starting to collect a few more pieces to all of this, but I thoroughly enjoy this a lot of days. I really do. But today, because we're getting closer to what's coming up, Valentine's Day. Yeah, Valentine's Day. I brought out, okay, the Royal Albert because it's roses and I like all of that, and maybe you will too. Okay, so I'm going to pour in, I don't know, about a good teaspoon of this Afternoon Delight in my little strainer right here. Then I'm going to take the hot water and pour over it. And I like to get mine right up to just right under that strainer so that it still catches the tea in there. And let that seat for a little bit. So again, if you were putting loose tea, which I will here in a minute, if you're going to put loose tea in the pot, now this one's quite loose on it, and it's going to leave a lot of the tea in here. That's okay. I don't mind. I really don't. Put it in that. These things are great. So I recommend you getting them. You can buy them in any tea shop. They come like this, either silver or the gold. And really, they're not very much money. They really aren't. Well, I don't know about in a tea shop. They might be a little bit more for their cost. But I'll link this. I think I'll put this under my tea time area that I'll link where I get things. And here they are with the little cup. This catches all the liquid. And then here's the nice little strainer, which is perfect for any cup that you have. So I do recommend those. I really do. Okay, back to what I was doing. Let's get my tea started first. Add a little sugar in there. So yesterday was go out and get a couple more items that we needed to get done for the weekend. Yes. While husband was over at the VA, which I went back with him on getting his prescriptions and stuff. And that was so cool because you go in, and when it's close to a little event like this, like Valentine's Day, there's always a table or two that they have put out for veterans and their spouses, whatever. And yesterday was these cute little bags. And in the little bag was, I'll just open it up here. You got free. Got free. A little card in here, always thanking you for your service that you have done. A chapstick. A nice little red, white, and blue flag writing pen. This was a nice little flag of a key chain. That could come in handy for a lot of things. It really can. Extra key. And of course, a little American flag pin that you would wear, you know, on your shirt lapel or whatever. All of that was nice. And then another table, they said, now be sure and go grab a cupcake. Okay. I went over there and I grabbed, they had chocolate and vanilla cupcakes. Nice. Nice. Fresh. Good. Yeah. That was nice yesterday on that. And then he had another errand that he likes to do of Harbor Freight that I don't like to go. So I said, you know, while you go down to Harbor Freight, why don't you just drop me off at my little thrift store? It's, you know, Tuesday, it's senior day. I'll mess around in there and then you come pick me back up. Oh yeah, okay, that's kind of our routine. What did I find at the thrift store? Funny little things. Another rolling pin. Yeah, but this one, this part of it is larger, bigger than all my other rolling pins. And I thought, ooh, I kind of like this. I'm gonna kind of take care of it on the ends here so it doesn't kind of squeak, or maybe I won't. You know, maybe I'll just leave it like this. I got that. I did find, actually, I found a nice Valentine's card. Yep. And I found this, I found the dish that I make my brownie little cakes in. This one right here. And then I found this little teacup and saucer. And I don't think you'll be able to see it in the camera, but actually it is indented in here in a way that when you put your tea in here, it's the shape of a heart. Yeah, yeah, the whole thing, even the little saucer has it up here too, a little indentation. I have another one, it's yellow, got years ago. Folks, I have teacups, I really do, and I have beautiful teapots, but they're out in my shed somewhere. I boxed them all up after I moved in here. I think I had them out for 1 year in this house, and then I kind of changed the theme of everything and put them all away. I need to go and find those and bring them out. But for now, I'm fine with what I have right here. I will say at tea time, before I get into all these wonderful teas and which ones, you know, that I like, and maybe you have them too, I am starting to collect. I've wanted to do this for a long time. I am starting to collect the Royal Albert of the monthly teacups and saucers. The ones that say, you know, this one has January in there. We're in the month of February. That's this one right here. And so January is the snowdrop. February, yes, are violets. March, sweet peas. And April are supposed to be daisies, but these aren't daisies. But this is the Royal Albert. It really is. So what I'm doing is I will order every 2 months. I'll let 2 months go by, and at the end of the kind of the second month, somewhere in there, I'll order 2 more of my teacups to get a whole set of 12 for the year. That's the plan anyway. That's what I'm going to do. And they're very pretty and they're nice, and I think I will enjoy them. And I do have a little shelf that I'm going to put them on. Actually, it's the first one I did with all my tea cups, and maybe I'll go back to that. Right now I have my little fancy chickens on it, but we'll see. We'll see. So when we talk about tea, so again, get your tea pot nice and hot and ready. pick whichever tea that you want, that you enjoy, or something that, you know, is new, of a favorite. Whatever you put into these pots, as far as loose tea or just a tea bag, let it seep for a little while. If you're going to do it in a teapot, let it sit there for a good 15-20 minutes. What I really like about the silver is they stay hot longer. They really do. And then you're ready to have any kind of flavorful tea. Yes. Okay, so what I picked, my Afternoon Delight. Peppermint, chamomile, licorice root, and cinnamon. Right now, tasting a heavy volume of the chamomile, to tell you the truth. I really am. Okay, so the last stop that we did after thrift store, or VA again, is because my friend gave me this at Christmas with a little card. She said, go back into this shop, and they have all kinds of herbs and teas. Okay, so I did. And that's when I found me 2 more that I really liked. And another thing about that store is, when this gets empty, I can take it back in the store and fill it up with the same thing again, or another one if I like. And I think I get a discount for getting another one or whatever. So I have the Irish Breakfast, then I have the Afternoon Delight, and then I bought one that is called Razzlement Tea. And it has spearmint, lemongrass, orange peel, peppermint, rose hips, raspberry leaf, and again, cinnamon. Now, if you've been watching my videos over the years, you know that I have a greenhouse and I grow herbs. And one of them in there of growing is my peppermint. I'll do spearmint and peppermint, but you've got to really watch when you start growing peppermint, or spearmint especially. It'll just take over a garden. It will. The long roots that stretch out from peppermint, wow, and they're sturdy, they're hard. They look like a long cable. They really do. I mean, when you pick them up, you got to really pull on them, you know, because they're sturdy. It's a sturdy plant, and it'll come back every year. It really will. Okay, so while we're at the store, there was a couple things. It's a nice little store. I liked it. There were some tables there that you actually can sit and have tea time. And I thought, this is great. Maybe I'll come over with my lady friends and have an afternoon tea. We want to have it at my house, but you know, this would be special too. Saturday, they have muffins or something that they do. And so I said, okay, that's fine. So what do I spot? Coco, come here. Come here, baby. Oh, come here. Can I say hello? All right. Coco Bean wants to say hello. He has something in his ear this morning. I don't know. He's been out in something this morning. But he is, he's such a baby, I'll tell you. My 3-year-old miniature dachshund, long-haired dachshund. This is Coco Bean. Okay? Now, I don't think you want any of that. No. Did you eat your breakfast this morning? Okay. All right, so back to my story. Of my day, of what happens with me in my day. Real nice lady in the store and all that, don't get me wrong. It's just I had picked out, she had these teacups sitting everywhere. And I assumed is the word. Goodness. I gave them their breakfast. I've done everything for the dogs, but they always like to interrupt me. Okay. I love them to death. I really do. Anyway, she has all these mugs and, not mugs, but teacups and saucers in the store. And apparently you can pick out one and then sit there and have, you know, afternoon tea or morning tea or whatever. Well, I spotted one I just fell in love with. And husband was with me in the store. And I said, you know, if you want to really do something nice today before Valentine's Day, and then right after Valentine's Day, 4 days after Valentine's Day, is our anniversary. And I said, there's a couple things in the store I'd really like to have. Okay, he says, pick out whatever you want. All right. I said, that's one of them right there. that beautiful teacup with the saucer, and I had a little spoon with it. Okay. Then I go on down the table. What does she have? Something else that I've been wanting for a very long time. And that's this little guy right here. Now you're going to say, well, now what is that? Well, it's called Masala Dabba, M-A-S-A-L-A-D-A-B-B-A, stainless steel is all it says on it. But what's inside are cute little cups with a spoon. What do you put in these? Herbs. Everyday herbs that you use all the time. And I'm thinking, yeah, I've been wanting this for quite a while. I really have. So husband gets me this. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. Then I come around the corner to another table. And she actually, and I don't see this very often, especially in a herb and tea store, she had the vanilla beans all in a bottle. Nice. Okay, well, what's also nice about this store is before you get there, it's kind of in a little L-shaped business area. And the first thing you see is the liquor store, H&R Block Tax, the post office, and then her little shop. And when I'm getting out of the car, I'm kind of chuckling, and I'm thinking, do you go get booze first before you do your taxes? Do you do your taxes and then go get boozed up? Do you do your taxes and then go buy some nice tea? I don't know. And be sure to mail your taxes off. I don't know. It was just kind of funny how they were all in a row like that. Anyway, so when we left there, I went over to the liquor store, and yes, I bought what goes in this bottle to ferment the vanilla bean. She wouldn't sell me the tea cup and saucer. I don't know. Said it was a gift or something to her. I could come in and have some tea or whatever, but that stayed on the shelf. Oh gosh, I was brokenhearted. I really wanted to take that teacup and saucer home. I really, really did. But we leave the store, and in fact, it reminded me of a little shop up in Craig years ago that I used to go into, and it was very similar, that you could go in and have afternoon tea, sit there with a muffin or whatever, but that was way before the COVID ever came into play. You know, you could have a teacup with your germs on it, you know, and I'm sure she washes the teacup, don't get me wrong. But nowadays, where everybody's kind of afraid of, ooh, I don't think I want to do that, you know, put it in a paper cup or whatever, sanitary-wise, you know, so that I can either take it home or whatever. It's one thing when you go into Starbucks and you pick out a mug or whatever, and they pour the liquid in there, and then you can take that home. This, you don't do that. So anyway, I'm on down to the liquor store. And I, folks, don't go in liquor stores because I don't drink. But I knew I needed the alcohol to go in this to get it started. So I went in, nice lady behind the counter. And I said, okay, I need a bottle of, because I didn't take the bottle in with me, but I said, I need a bottle about this big of either vodka, rum, or brandy. I would prefer the vodka because I wanted the clear liquid, because I am doing vanilla beans. Oh, she says, I know exactly which one because my sister-in-law does that. Great. Love it when somebody knows what they're doing when they work in a place. Okay, so she comes up with this Absolut vodka. And this one is, there was 40% and 80%. I got the, actually we asked for the 80% and she went and gave me the 40% of the alcohol. One's a red label and one's the blue. Huh. Well, I'm gonna try it. I already bought it anyway. So you put this, the alcohol, in this bottle of the vanilla beans. If you've ever done this, you know what to do and you know how long it takes. 6 months, a good 6 months. that I will put all this liquid in here, put the top back on it, set it aside someplace, not in a sunny area, you know, some cool place. Don't forget about it. Know where you've put it. And in 6 months, I'm going to have wonderful vanilla extract out of these beans. I really am. I can also take the beans out. I can cut them, put them in different teas, whatever I want to do with the vanilla bean. But this was a real treat. It really was yesterday. And my herb little containers was a real treat. It really was. Okay. On to talking about teas. So, when I first started out loving teas, clear back in my 30s, I'm sure it was. Could have been even before then. Got married, had my own house. I had a little tea container like this. No big deal. Except my beautiful flower. This is another thing to do. Take whatever container that you have. Buy yourself Simone flowers for Valentine's Day. Really. And display them in whatever you choose. I just chose this today. I really did. Okay, I'm going to set that kind of right there. Okay, so this was the one that I always had. It had little cups and the tea bag on it, and I thought it was really cute. You pull out the drawers, and I could put in whatever tea that I wanted. Then as I advanced to more things over the years, let me sit that over there on the chair. Lots of times you got tea in these little containers right here. They're just little metal containers that are fine aromatic, is what's on Western spice tea, English breakfast, jasmine. But these are a loose tea. They come in a little tin as a loose tea, which I like. I really do. So the toss-up between having the loose tea and then just going to, well, we had them like this. They came like this. And inside these were your little bags of tea. For a long time, this was a Bigelow brand cinnamon stick that I bought. And then, of course, we advanced to, I mean, there's all kinds of teas out there, all different brands. Celestial Seasons, when it came out, was pretty good. Here's one I bought. Gingerbread Spice. Cranberry Vanilla. Peach, one of my favorites. I have 2 of them. Tangerine. Yeah. See, they have a lot of different flavors. That's over here. Always my 3 boxes, because I stock up on it. The Bigelow of the Constant Comet, which is, yes, you can taste the cinnamon in this, but it's a black tea, and it's just one of my favorites between peppermint and this one. Okay. I like, when my tummy's not feeling good, I get this one that is called Ginger Turmeric. Comes in a box like that. Two Leaves. This is organic, of a green tea that was nice. Tavana, the citrus lavender, and it also has, I had the other one, but I've used a lot of them, which was the Mist Majesty that I use. I like it. I drink. Pumpkin spice of a black tea, of an herb tea. Always fall time or whatever, you got to have your spice of all of that. Then one day we were sitting in, husband and I were sitting in, I think it was IHOP, the pancake place. They came bringing out a tea, and I really liked it that morning. I really did. And it came in actually, let me get my box open here. It came in a little tiny box just like this. So I took the box, used the tea at the table, took the little box, and English breakfast black tea. Renovation, it's called. Came home, looked that up. Husband ordered me 3, there's quite a few in here. Husband came home and ordered me 3 boxes of this. So now I have quite a bit of this tea. But it's a soothing, mild, calm tea that I like. Yeah? Okay, then people buy me teas all the time. They really do. So I got the jasmine tea in a Asian store last year when I did my Chinese luncheon for my ladies. And I wanted them to experience everything. And this was one of them. Brought out the little elephant teapot that I have. And this was nice. It was a good tea. It really was. So I had that. My son's girlfriend got me English mint because she knows I like mint. Again, these are loose teas. And this is another jasmine tea right here. It's a darker tea. If I was to get that out. Oh, it's just a dark tea. Big little leaves on that. Okay. That's a lot of the teas. When, let's see, these two, this is my peppermint right here. That's my peppermint tea. And then this is called, this was from Willow Creek. This is another lemon balsam, spearmint, sunflower, blue cornflower. It's got a lot of things in it on this one. And teas you can make yourself. Yes, you can. When I make my peppermint tea, I grow the peppermint, then I like to snip it all off, it's long, and I let it dry. Once it's all dry, it's very much like taking rosemary, take it upside down and pull the little stems off, and they're dry, you know, and that's when you can put them in any kind of a bag like this, airtight. So this one, oh, this was another find at my thrift store. It was this cute little container that does have the rubber part, or plastic, I should say, seal on it. And I am going to put my peppermint tea in this container now. And put that in there without making too much of a mess. And then I'll put probably a little tag on it for me to know that, yes, this is my peppermint tea that I made, you know, that I like. So I kind of like that. Okay, if I have whatever left over, I'll take any kind of a container and stick all my extra teas in this. Now, if you think, well, that's quite a few teas. No, I got more. I got more of teas. So when I first started, like I said, with tea time, I had this one. That are these little bottles. And they're very interesting. I mean, here's another jasmine. There's a green tea. And you get 2 so that you have 2. Here's berry hibiscus. Lemon ginger that I did try. Orange tea that I have tried. Nutmeg cinnamon. These are cute little bottles. They really are. And I've enjoyed them. I have. Okay, so that's one. Then I had this tea container box, and you can put your teas in whatever. These things are nice when they separate like this, where you can put, okay, now here's some loose tea. You don't want the box anymore in your, you don't want one of these boxes. Oh, can't reach. You know, in your cupboard stacking up, because they do. You get you a nice little tea box. And then sometimes I will take off just the little label or cut it off the box and put it right in there so that I know, oh yeah, that's chamomile. Oh yeah, this is the vanilla chamomile. You know, this over here is the pear white tea. That was a good one. Peach is over here. And they're just nice little containers to have. When Pioneer Woman came into the picture, she had one, and this was a gift at Christmas time. It didn't say anything on it, so I got the little sticker and put tea on it. And again, it's another one that holds all your little tea bags very nicely. So that all you have to do is open it up and pick one, whatever it is. I even have Lipton in here on days when I just want Lipton tea. Yeah. Okay, so that's that part. Now, one viewer asked, have I ever tried rose tea? No, I have not. When I went into the store, this little herb and tea shop, I asked her, do you have any rose tea? And she said, no, she didn't. She said, I haven't found one that I like yet. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So, I looked in my cupboard. All I had was this little jar because I thought I had something that said rose on it. Sure enough, I have one that says homemade rose jam. So if I want to get the flavor, I certainly could put this on some biscuit, you know, and enjoy my tea for the day. That would be another wonderful thing to have. It really would. I get all kinds of different mugs and cups. This was a set one year that I got. Not the set, I got one from one person, and then a couple years later, I got the identical one again. These are very pretty. They really are. Things like this sometimes come in tea containers. This is a little swan, and actually, you just open it up, fill it with the loose tea. There you go. Hang it in some little tea container, your glass. Okay, that's another. I have these little guys that are vintage. These are what's called I Hold the Bag. They're cute little guys. And what they do is, yes, when you have your tea bag, you've finished for the day with your tea bag, then your tea bag sits right here. Instead of on the side of your teacup or a counter or whatever, it's nice to have these little guys. And I try to collect them wherever I see one. There's one there, another one, and a little glass one. Just little tea holders of any kind. Now, tea strainers vary. So, when I talk about what I use, it can be anything from a big one like this that you want to put down in any kind of a larger teapot. You know, I certainly could add that to this one. I could put him in here. I had put this little guy when I first started. He's real cute because he has a little bee. And that little bee, if I was to set him down in here, then the little bee can just hold on the side of the little cup like that. So he's kind of cute. He really is. So when I first started out buying my silver things and finding things in antique stores, is I would find the spoons. Now these spoons are really, really nice. See how they open? You put the loose tea in here, it closes and locks, and then you just stick that right down in your cup, okay? So I have a couple of them. This one has a little larger of a handle. And when they don't look pretty and shiny like this, they're going to look like this, tarnished, tarnished. That's when you have to get out your silver polish. This was the very first one I ever found. It is broken. It doesn't have the little lip thing to hold it down anymore. And I had to take some wire many years ago and hold this part together. But you know, I just hung on to it because it was my very first one I ever bought. This is another one, again, that opens, but see how black of tarnished it is? Again, just take you some silver polish. People think, well, I don't want to mess with that. But look what you have in return once you get it all cleaned up. Really, really nice. There's ones that open on the side, like that. I like them too. There's cute little ones that maybe come with something that you've bought. This one had the little tray here that when you get done, this one's cute as a heart for Valentine's Day. And when you get done, you can place it right on this. So when the liquid falls out, it's got its own little tray. Okay. Then we have these kind that open. Oops. See, this is another one. You have to be careful with some of these at times. Why was that coming off of here? This one needs to be soldered back on. That's right, this one needs to be soldered back on. This one and this one, because they're so old, I've had them forever. The theme to them is this. Now you can find this in any tea store, really. Yesterday I saw tons of these. Yep. I have a bigger one here, real big, for a lot of teas. Then I have, and I like these, I really do. So let me go back to my, where did I put my, I'll just grab this one. These that sit over like this, that you're holding, put your loose tea in there, and you can dip it a little bit and then bring it back up. Dip it and bring it back up. And I really like that about these. So I have this one, I have a little star on the end, and I have this style right here. They clean up very well. I need to put some silver polish on this one. Hopefully it'll get just as shiny and pretty as this one. If you can't find those, sometimes you'll find them that they look just like this. Yep. And my favorite is this one that I found many, many years ago. I really did. That I like to use the loose tea and put in different pots. And like I said, when I get my act together and get out there in that shed, get some nice cups of my own, all of that. So if I was to take, do I have, yeah, I've got February right here. This one, and I'm gonna take, well, let's just say my peppermint tea right here. If I was to take the peppermint tea out and I want to put it in my big pot, right here, take a good heaping amount of whatever. Now I'm going to let that seep for a little while. I really am, before I try it in here. If you think, oh, I like all of this, I like to have different teas that maybe I want to grow and do, you certainly can. There are tons of books out there. I have a few here. One of them is called Mountain States. That is by Mountain States and Medicine Plants. That one's by Brianna Miles. There's also a Healing Herbs by a Michael Castleman. But I have these here. One is called Grow It, Heal It, Christopher Hobbs and Leslie Garner. That's a good one on different things. The Healing Herbs that you want to, this is the Michael Castleman that I have, Healing Herbs. And Food for Health and Healing. This is a good book of all kinds of, for spices and different things. My other really good one for mountain herbs of different things, and I mean it can be from anything of finding something out in the wilderness, like when you go camping, like what I like to do. I met a lady, oh my gosh, she came from the same town that I was in, and her name is Dora. Dora, if you're watching my tea time, how are you? I haven't heard from you in quite a little while. She's the one that turned on me to this healing book of different things, remedies and different things. But why is because something of a, I don't know if it was a horsefly or what, that bit me that afternoon. And she says, I have just the thing for you. And she came over with a little bottle that she had put together of different things that out in nature that she had found, things that she knows how to blend and put together, took the itch right now out of that. Right now. That was great. That was great. So whether it's for something like that or just enjoying it, like this, lavender, to grow lavender is wonderful. And don't be throwing your tea bags away. They can be used for so many different things. First of all, they can be used for putting out for, excuse me, plant fertilizer. You can rinse your hair in tea bags. Yeah, makes it nice and shiny. They are insect repellent, like I said, for so many different things. That would be the chamomile and the lavender. But the taste alone of what I like most about a loose tea versus a tea bag, of course, is the aroma to me. The taste, the oxidants that are in loose tea, it'll come out better than in a regular tea bag. Tea started way before we ever had coffee. Really, it did. Coffee didn't come along until about the 1900 AD, I think it was. It also keeps all these loose teas and stuff, keeps ants away. It's just so many things you can do with what we already have out in nature, what we already grow. And now we enjoy it in our home. We really do. I recommend you getting some books. Yes, you can look up anything on the internet. That's a given. Then you can do that. Besides all of that, sit down. See this one? I didn't bring out a spoon, so I'll just use this. This one needs to be stirred around a little bit. Get it way down in there and stir it around. Okay? Now again, with this, if I didn't have this little strainer to pour it over, because I don't want all that loose tea. See, I've already got quite a bit of the tea leaves in there. Then I would go ahead and do the same thing. I would take this and put it over here. Because I don't want to blend the two different teas, I'll go ahead with this one. Set it in there. Oh, I can smell it right now. This is fresher. You just know because of the aroma of it than a tea bag. And you don't really know how long, folks, that tea bag has sat, you know, in the grocery store. Yes, everything has an expiration date on it, don't get me wrong. It's just, I don't know, tea's tea, and it's just one you really do want fresh. You really do. Valentine's Day for me this year is going to be, of course, my little treat of the brownie cakes. These little guys that are Love Notes, which are marshmallow. I found them at Walmart. Yes. And I'll have the treat of that. And we are going to have, I'm pulling out in the freezer that we haven't used in quite a little while. I have pulled out some snow crab legs that I like. Husband's going to have a nice steak on the grill. Don't know what we're doing for anniversary because I think he said he was going to take me out to dinner. I really do. But what do you remember from Valentine's Day? What's the thing that you like to do the most, you know, now? What I remember so much as a kid, second grade. Mrs. Thompson was my second grade teacher. Yeah, Craig, Colorado. And we had Valentine's Day parties. We did. And what did we do that was so special in second grade? We made our Valentine box. We would take a shoe box or whatever kind of small box that we had. We would cut the slit in the top of it for the Valentines to be placed down in there. But the joy of the box was to decorate it. And I mean, we went all out as a kid, you know, in the second grade. Mom would pull out the different colored construction paper And she would have the paper little doilies, little heart doilies. And we would glue, you know, everything on there. And we had the glue bottles way back in the day. Wasn't Elmer's glue. Later it was, but we had the ones that were in the glass bottle. You could see what the glue color was, which was kind of a light brown color. And then it had the rubber stopper on it that you actually had to push down like that to even get the glue started. People my age will remember these. That's what we glued, or our glue, on the boxes. Then we would take them to school, and we had our Valentines for everybody in the class, even the teacher. Nobody got left out. Didn't matter if you didn't care for, you know, little Sarah over there. I don't like little Bobby. You know, he still got a Valentine. Yeah, that was a must. Okay, so then when it came time after school studies and all of that, there was a set aside time in the afternoon. I believe it was afternoon. Yeah, because you always got really excited about it, and teacher didn't want to do it in the morning, you know, and have you forget about what you're supposed to learn for the day. So in the afternoon, then it was time to pull out your shoebox. And in second grade, we had the desk that raised up like this. So things fit in there, you know, your books and everything, supplies fit down in this little tray area of the school desk. So you pull out your shoebox, get that out. Then somehow, and I don't remember, it's been too long ago, but somehow we went around the desks, all of us, in like a row. And we would put the our Valentine that we had done the night before, in the little box. Now, after we got it all done, we could sit there and we could open up a few Valentines, not all of them, but a few, and read, you know, our Valentine. And they were so cute. They really were. Valentine cards back in the day, oh gosh, they were really funny and cute. Nowadays, I cannot even believe what is on the shelf, to tell you the truth. Something for my nose this morning. It runs this morning. Okay. Then you were to take your Valentine box home for the day. And that's what was fun the rest of the afternoon, is to open up that lid to that homemade box of yours and pull out the Valentines that, you know, everybody in the class wrote you something, hand wrote you something. And oh, by the way, it was in cursive writing. Yeah, wasn't printed. It was in cursive writing. That was a must too. Okay, and later, I think it was third or fourth grade, somewhere in there. That's when the students started putting little things in the envelope, little heart candies or whatever, and then you'd have to seal that and put a piece of tape on that. And that was to the person that, you know, you really liked or whatever. Sometimes you didn't put it to all of them. Those are the fun days. They really are. My Valentine card that I got this time for husband, and when I go out to lunch with my ladies, that's another thing that we do. We were supposed to do it yesterday. We're doing it tomorrow. We always exchange Valentine's cards, and I give a little box of those little heart candies. Sometimes the ladies bring just the little tiny ones, just the little ones of the chocolate candies that they'll pass out, and that's all we need. You know, that's all we do. But this year, I think it will be nice to go out to lunch and again hear different conversations. But today I wanted to come on and say, this is kind of what tea's all about. Whether you make it yourself and put it in a cute little container, and you certainly could go off and do this, sell it on Etsy, go on YouTube and have a channel that you're showing how to make teas. That would be wonderful. Sure, they're out there. I just didn't click on them even last night because I know where to get teas. I know which ones I like. I kind of know which ones to put together that make a nice combination of a flavor. And this next spring, I am going to plant more lavender out in my yard. I live in a very hot area, and lavender does do very well down here. We have where the peach orchards are, there are fields that just grow lavender. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to look at, beautiful to smell, and of course, it's wonderful in hot tea. It really is. So do bring out your nice favorite, whatever, teacup, whether it is teacup of the month, which this one is. Try my homemade peppermint here that I like. I really like it. Or whether you have been given a nice teacup and saucer. I like to take mugs for my coffee. I really do. Because I drink a little bit more coffee. Well, I started out I was an avid coffee drinker. And then for a while I had to stop, and now I've gone back to coffee in the morning. But I really just grab a mug for my coffee. Tea's a little bit more special. Yeah, so much better than a tea bag. Like, it just is. It just really is. And the fact that I know I grew it. It's right out my back door. I started right underneath my kitchen sink. There was a little flower bed area, and I thought, oh, I'll have my herb garden here. Way before I got my greenhouse. Well, then after getting my greenhouse, I took it all out. But if you miss one little root, really, on peppermint or spearmint, here it comes back the next year. It really does. So there's an area, and I've just kind of left it. I watch it. I pull several different areas because I don't want it to take over my roses out there and a couple things that are planted of just regular flowers. I don't want that. But if I was to have just a glass of nice home brewed iced tea in the summertime, all I have to do is step right out my back door and pick a fresh mint leaf off of either spearmint or my peppermint and stick that into my iced tea. So refreshing, so nice. And you can do the same thing. So when you're out and you think, well, where do I get this? You know, you've never done this. Lowe's, Home Depot, anywhere that, your grocery store, come springtime when they're starting to put out some of their herbs or different things, you're going to see that little plant. You really are. And you're going to say, ooh, there's some spearmint. Or maybe if you don't care for the taste of spearmint and you do like peppermint like me, then wait and look around for the peppermint. They'll have it. They really will. Most of the time, like I said, it's at the bigger stores. Or I can't even think right now it's just so abundant down here where I can find it. And I'll come home and I'll plant, you know, a fresh of my peppermint. I hope you make a Valentine, a homemade Valentine, whether it's this year or some other year. Make it for somebody you really care about. They will treasure it. You will treasure it knowing that you made it. And then sit down and have a nice cup of tea and enjoy your day. Enjoy your Valentine. I said you don't have to have somebody buy you roses. You can buy them yourself. You can even get artificial ones. Aren't these beautiful? Again, I found them in the thrift store. They look almost real, don't they? Yeah, well, I thought, yeah, I like that. I'll bring that home. Just funny little things to what? Put a smile on your face. And when you decide to go and get some real silver, be cautious and careful as to the silver that you pick out. I just got this container yesterday at the thrift store, believe it or not. I did. And the little funny story about that is, I saw the lady pick it up. Saw her pick it up. This is the sugar, doesn't have the top, has the sugar. And this one, I said these are the Rogers. This one is, oh gosh, and I can't read that right now. These are initials. It has a crown, and I should know this. And it has a B, an S, and looks like a C. But it was just gorgeous, and they're heavy. This is heavy. That's another thing about real silver over silver plate. It'll be heavier. So the woman picks it up. Older lady, senior day. The woman picks it up. And she's saying, Mabel, isn't this pretty? Yeah, it is. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm like at a yard sale. I wish I'd found that first, because it would go with one of my sets. So I'm off another aisle. I think that's when I found my white teacup and saucer. I'm over there at the dishes, and they're over in a different section where all this kind of stuff is. But I'm keeping my eye on them, and I'm thinking, well, is she going to buy it or not? You know? And pretty soon, I see her set it back down on the shelf. And I'm thinking, yes, now if I can get over there fast enough. So they went on down the aisle. And I thought, she just, I guess, wanted to show her friend, isn't this pretty? You know, it's unusual or whatever, isn't it pretty? And it's heavy, it's a good one. So what does Diane do? Take my little basket. And I go over there, and I pick it up, and I knew the minute I picked it up, I thought, yeah, I want this. And I put it in my basket. A little time goes by, not much. I go back over there where the dishes are because I'm still looking for other cups and saucers because mine are out in the shed. Okay, so, and sometimes you find really, really nice ones. The other one that I showed the other day on here was a Spode tea cup and saucer. Okay, that's great. So anyway, I've got this down in my basket, and I hear the lady because she has a distinct voice. I have perfect hearing anyway. So I hear the lady, and she says, oh, somebody went and got it. It's gone now. And I knew exactly what she was talking about, this little treasure right here. When I told my husband about it, when he picked me up, after he did his shopping, came back to pick me up, I said, man, I got something that another lady, I'm sure, is just sick she didn't hang on to. Oh, yeah, what was that? I said, I'm not going to show you yet till we get home. I pull it out of the bag when we get home. I get my silver polish out. That's another thing with real silver. Get your silver polish out. I polish it all up, and I said, isn't this a little treasure? I first was going to put my roses in just this, but because I do have an extra teapot, I thought, oh, I like it in that better. I really do. But I thought, no, this is going to hold, actually, in my cupboard, this is going to hold all of these little guys. That's what I want to, unless I can find, and maybe someday I will, you just never know, in the same thrift store or a different one or whatever, if I can find the creamer to this and maybe the lid to this, then I'll go ahead and get that and have as a matching set. But isn't it funny how you find things every now and then? It's a treasure to me. It made me happy for the day. My tea is going to make me happy for the day. So I'm here to wish everyone out there a very happy Valentine's Day. I'll blow a kiss to you. Thanking everyone for watching my channels, whether it's Cooking with Carol Diane, that I'm baking or doing something for you, or whether it's this little tea time, conversation time with you. I really do thank you for stopping in and taking the time to listen to whatever I say out of my mouth, good, bad, or indifferent. I'm not here to offend anybody or make anybody feel bad or anything. I don't have the answers to everything, no. But tea I kind of know about. I really do. So this is from my kitchen, from my kitchen to yours. Have a wonderful afternoon. I'll catch you next time on Cooking with Carol Diane. Bye-bye.